is my headphones and my voice audible? Is it okay?
Okay, sir. We are able to hear you properly.
Okay, sir. So let us start. Now, here we are going to talk about ideas about the valuation of mines. Uh, Actually, we'll go about this a little later, but first let me start on this. Now, why this valuation of mines have come into picture? Because RVOs and RVs have been talking to IBBI saying that there is a gap of valuation expertise in the whole system. At this point of time, there are only three type of valuations, which is too small. And some of the gaps which have been identified are agriculture land. Now, valuation of agriculture land cannot be treated as the same as the normal commercial land, factory land, or residential land. Because agriculture land have got a different type of yield, they have got a different type of sellability. I can't buy agriculture land, in a different estate and so on. So it has a different way of valuations. Then in whole of our valuation thing, there is nothing about farm animals and other livestock. Considering Amul is the largest milk company in the world, and they deal with farm animals, it is a very surprising thing. Another thing about farm animals and livestock is beef is banned, beef from cow, but there is a large amount of buffaloes which are culled or killed, and then the whole meat is processed and sold to countries like China, Middle East, Europe, Japan, and so on. The total business of such meat being sold is over 20,000 crores per year. And the hide or the skin of buffaloes are then converted into leather items. India used to be a net exporter of leather items, but after a lot of religious sentiment of not killing the cows, we have now become a slight importer of these hides. Then forest. Forest valuation is another big issue. Now, forests are important not only with respect to our environment, but also forests are very important for our timber requirements. As on today, India's 98% wood is imported. We don't have wood. And so, there is a need which is being felt, especially in Uttarakhand area, that they need to now create forests which are sustainable. A small interesting story here. In Canada, in 1906 to 1911, the Canadian government or the people who were governing Canada realized that the forests are being depleted at a very fast pace. So what they did was, whatever forest which was given for cutting and lumbering, they said you have to plant 10% more saplings, and you can only start cutting after 3 years, which means the sapling should have taken roots and grown to a certain level. Now, because it started about 100 years plus ago, today Canada is got a lot of surplus forests, and Canada is also exporting a large amount of containers to India per day. My rough estimate is over 100 containers of wood is coming from Canada to India per day. Another thing about where the valuation is lacking a lot is aeroplanes. It may be surprising to note by all of us here that nobody in India, no banks or financial institutions are funding aeroplanes. Most of this funding is happening from Royal Bank of Scotland. And in India, nobody has expertise to do that funding. Now, aeroplanes typically have a life between 35 to 45 years. And most of the aeroplanes, they work on dry lease and wet lease basis. Along with that, there is a big issue of the quality of maintenance. But unfortunately, we don't have anybody here for valuation of aeroplanes and also for the ships. There are tenders for ship valuation by Shipping Corporation of India. And when I had approached them, I told them I can do a valuation like any other, assuming the life of the ship to be 30 years and so on. And they said, no, 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 that is not the way. The ship valuation is a very big field in itself. I found out a little more. There is a Lloyd Marine Academy in London which teaches about ship valuation. And the fees was about $5,000. But I realized you giving $5,000 and then it becomes very difficult to get any business. So ships is another area where, as a P&M valuer, I can value the ship. But ship valuation, if I do as a P&M valuer, will not be the right thing. On the finance side, there are perpetual bonds which are being floated. Reliance is the first one which have floated perpetual bond, which means they will continue being the bond, and the company may decide to call them or increase them, and all sort of financial engineering, as the word is, they keep on doing. Now, how are these perpetual bonds being valued, considering the risk of the economy, the risk of the country, and the risk of the company? So a bond by Reliance and a bond of a company in Pakistan, maybe at the same interest rate, will not be valued at the same, because the political risk of Pakistan as of this moment is considerably higher. So how do you value these perpetual bonds? Again, these are being valued by people in England and in Germany and in Hong Kong, but we do not have a stream for this. Another valuation is on political risks. So I don't think I would like to speak further, but this is a topic which can give a very big discussions. Now, 100-year-old structures. I have worked in Japan, and in Japan, because the number of earthquakes are very high, the structures used to be of wood. But then the population of Japan increased considerably, so they allowed steel structures. Now, these steel structures are not RCC, they are the column and the beams are made of I-beam steel structures. And many of them are over 100 years old, especially in the center of Tokyo and Osaka, which are very, very congested. Just to say that people who are in Delhi, they think the yellow line is very congested. I can only tell you the yellow line is only 30% congested than the metro trains I have used in Tokyo. Many of us have seen those people where they push the passengers inside the bogies. I have been in one of those trains, not once, regularly. So now how you cannot take out these structures. And some of these structures are of metros. The first metro of Tokyo was called the Ginza line in 1906, made of steel structures. Now, how do you value those? What about the cost of replacement? One of the oldest steel structure running by railway is in Gujarat, called the Golden Bridge. And it was called the Golden Bridge because it was made 162 years ago at 6.4 lakh rupees. Okay, then how about valuation for different financial arrangements? When I say different financial arrangements, then the first thing which come into my mind is AIF, which is called the Alternate Investment Fund. Now, there are many smart brokers that take up several types of assets, and there's a lot of haziness around it, and then they try to sell it. And the valuation and the risk assessment, like we have the CIBIL or etc., are very murky. Bullion. Bullion valuation is a very standard procedure. You go to any Titan shop, they will take your gold. I've not seen they're doing silver, but they take your gold, they will melt it. There is a machine which will test it, and from that basis, they can do it. So the bullion, but IBBI, as far as IBBI is concerned, the bullion valuation is with plant and machine. So that needs to get into other, because bullion is a very large field of finance where it is given as a security for loans. Another one is precious stone. I also work as a business consultant. One of my client was a Hyderabad jeweler, and the person's father, who was about 80-year-old, was the final authority on valuing of pearls. Now he used to see the pearls, check something, and then say, "Itne ka hai," and that was it. But then, because of the respect and his acceptability in that trade, people accepted it. But otherwise, there was nothing more than yes, what he says. We need to bring bullion and precious stone into our this thing also. Just a minute, please. Rajiv, मैं अभी class ले रहा हूँ. I'll call you in some time. Yeah. So the last thing is painting, sculptures, and artifacts. Now, paintings, the largest auction houses in the world are Christie's, and there is different Christie's and one more in England. And they have a set of people who value these paintings and sculptures. But in India, we do not have this as a standard valuation. And today, what is said is the best returns of investment comes in these fine arts, paintings, sculptures, artifacts. We can own it legally, we can keep it, and we can sell it later. And the reason why they increase in value a lot, because there is only one painting of horses of M.F. Hussain, rest all are his copies. So that original has got a value. And how much is a value today? That again becomes an issue. Now, these values are required for insurance purposes. Okay, any comments or anything else which I have forgotten in this? Can we all add on some?
हेलो.
Yes, sir.
हाँ हाँ, अभी तक कुछ आया नहीं ना.
Chaliye, nothing. Let's take. So let's have
Okay.
interactions session, sir. Otherwise, मैं भी सो जाऊंगा, आप भी सो जाओगे. मजा नहीं आएगा. We all are same values. So there is a need for a lot of these, and these have been told to IBBI, and IBBI has already started thinking about it. So this one session, and there will be similar sessions about some of these and more, so that they can decide which items to bring, how to bring it into the system, and so on. This will also make as valuer our profession to be stronger, and there's certain degrees they say they can value anything. All of that will stop. Now, why? Because these are super specialized assets. They need a different treatment. They can't be treated in a generic. Just an agriculture land cannot be treated as the same as a commercial land, or as a dump yard, or as a residential. So they have to be treated separately because they have a different legal structure, legal requirement of size, and so on. Then insurance needs. Insurance needs are becoming much more. A painting, whether it is 5 crore or 25 crore, so that makes a big difference. Financing needs, as we know, they may be needing of finance, or they may be using this as a collateral. Then asset scrutinization needs and tax treatment need. If we sell a painting, what is a tax? Is it GST? Is it stamp duty? On how much it is? So you need a third-party valuation on whom these can be decided. So these are things which are coming up. And the good thing is these are being recognized by the government. And when they are being recognized, the value of the valuers will tend to go up. Any questions, comments, sir?
Sir, may I come in?
Yeah, please, sir.
Yeah. Sir, regarding the agricultural land you mentioned, so is it something particularly about the plantation which is more important or the other aspects?
You see, as far as agricultural land is concerned,
Hmm.
agricultural land also form under different part. There is a community agriculture land, there is agriculture land which is not being, वो ऊसर जमीन कहते हैं जिसको, जो कि यूज ही नहीं हो पाती है. Then agricultural land is where half of them is an orchard and half of them is something else. So the variety is quite large, and hence there is a need of a specialized valuation process and a valuer for it. So that's the whole idea. Now,
Okay.
what are these processes? How will they be formed? At this point of time, there are different ideas with many valuers, and IBBI is talking to such valuers, and through RVOs are trying to make committees and so on. So first thing what IBBI has done, that why don't you take these items and start educating all the valuers so that they can also start getting ready wherever possible. That's the whole idea. That's why this mining has come up as a thing now, because we'll see later, mining is a pretty complex treatment and valuation.
Sir, I wanted to ask a
Any?
question.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sir, what about scientific research, like the research which took place for vaccines or something like that? So,
So
does that also require?
okay, that comes under IPR, intellectual property. And intellectual property valuation is not done anywhere in the world, because an intellectual property, I don't know, let me do a little boasting. I have a patent on my name. I was working with Larsen and Toubro, and I have a patent with me and Larsen and Toubro of battery swap in three-wheelers. So, well, I don't know where the status is. We were never able to commercialize it. So battery swap has now become a pretty standard technology. So I don't know how to make of it, but scientific research normally comes under IPR and not under valuation. I have not seen any valuation being done for an intellectual property or patents.
Yeah, because I ran into a problem when I was trying to value a company which had a huge medical database, genetic database of its clients. And they were saying that that database itself is an asset. So, and they had done a lot of research on that. So, how to value that, and without the valuation of that particular information asset, shall we say, not even intellectual property, then it would be very difficult to value the company.
You are absolutely correct. I totally understand what you are saying. Maybe we can talk a little offline, because we have done some work on this for a media company where they had a lot of uh, tapes, which they had recorded tapes and so on. And how did we go about it? And finally, it was accepted. So offline, maybe we can take it, or if we have time in the end, we can talk some of the methods which may be possible.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
at
too,
this time, yes, please.
sorry, I had a similar issue with one of the genetics company. So we have, I can share something offline, maybe separately, how we tried to address the problem of valuing that. Maybe at the end, when we get time, I'll
Sir,
share
then,
my thoughts.
sir, I think then once you are also there, now why don't you put across at least your thoughts? Because the
Then we
idea of
would be
C,
deviating from
idea,
the main topic. We would
no
be
problem,
deviating
sir.
from the main topic. We will do it at the end.
Okay, we can do it. Okay,
Thank
let
you,
us
sir.
then continue. Now, what is mining? How do we define mining? Now, mining is exploitation of a natural resource for the benefit of the society and profit. So there is a natural resource, which can be mineral inside the earth. It can be salt from the seas. It can be airwaves for the mobile. It can also be the use of space, airspace for flight, then oil and gas under the surface, land use, which comes as a toll tax. Now let us take some practical thing what has happened. After August 15, 2019, when Article 370 was struck down or changed, abrogated, my English is not the best, Pakistan said that Indian flights cannot fly over Pakistan. They used that right of the airspace above the land on the ground belongs to that same country. So all the flights going to Dubai and Europe had to take a much bigger detour for quite some time. And I remember that time per flight over Pakistan used to be something like $580 or something like that. But Pakistan lost 70-80 million dollar per year from India just because of that. So that is a use of airspace for flight was not allowed by the country. Then there is a background noise. Okay. So airwaves for mobile, we know very well that the mobiles used to be 16 rupee 80 paisa for going call and the coming call per minute. This was in 1990, 92, 93 by Airtel when it was started in Delhi. And from there, now where the rates are, the technology have gone up and there are auctions all over. And even today, the news which is hot and going on is 200 some crore rupees cash from some member of Rajya Sabha, member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha. And one of the things which is being said is he was part of the sand mine mafia. So, just mine means taking out any natural resource or use of any natural resource and making a profit and for the benefit of the society. So it is like a much bigger world than a mine which we take things out from the ground only. Like salt from the sea. If you go to the Bhuj area, there are huge farms where these are mined. But or the seas, when the tide is up, the water comes in and it goes out and dried in the sun and so. So all of these also require licensing arrangements and similar. So what happens is there is a natural resource, then there is a right to exploit is given by the government to a third party, a private party or a government party. A government party, the reason I'm saying government party is like coal. Now the right to mine the coal and use it has been given to NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation, which has set up power plants on the coal pit so that they can make use of the cost of transportation of coal can be reduced. So they have Korba and Singrauli where such things are there. And they make a profit and then they preserve the same land as much natural as it was earlier to bring it and continue being used by our successors. Now, how to find an economic natural resource? First is exploration. So you explore. You go there, you dig holes, you take out sand, and then you see what is inside it. And is there a chance of taking out something? Now, exploration is the way by which this lithium was found in Jammu region, where the government has announced that the tender will be floated before the end of this year. So exploration is one way by which we find out whether a economic natural resource is there. Why we say economic? Economic because does it make sense to take it out and convert it into a metal or a sellable product rather than, just it is there. Everything will be there everywhere in very minor traces, but how much? Another thing which has become very strong nowadays is satellite imaging. Now, in satellite imaging, there are satellite which keeps on taking pictures, and they take pictures of temperature, of change of colors, and so on. And with that, they are able to say there is a chance of something interesting in these areas. They can point out what is not in a particular area and what is there in an area, but nothing more than that. So it helps in reducing the exploration to a very large extent. For exploration, I should add something. How many people out here have heard of Surveyor Journal of India? Any idea about the Surveyor Journal of or Surveyor Corporation? I don't know corporation or whatever it is, but Surveyor Journal of India.
The Survey of India, we are aware of.
Where is the head office, sir?
Dehradun.
Dehradun is the head office. Perfect. Now, this was formed in somewhere around 1900s, and I happen to know some people there, and they were telling that every year there used to be big parties going around measuring and making maps and trees which are there, and especially trees which can last up to 50 years, and then taking samples and so on. So that is where the exploration started first. And I was able to see the maps made about 70, 80 years ago when there were no computers and everything was by hand. It was amazing and how much work so many other small government organizations do, which we don't even come to. Then there are chance findings. Just by chance it is found. Like, for example, this diamond called the Kohinoor, it was found by जैसे क्या चरवाहा कहते क्या वो जो गाय भैंसों को चराते हैं, and then he gave it to the local बनिया, वो उसको as a weight का इस्तेमाल कर रहा था, and then from there it went on to whatever it is, and that's how the Golconda mines were found, Golconda diamond mines. Another ones are historic things कि यार यहाँ कुछ होता रहता था. We hear कि our पुराने जमाने में from our historic and religious and other texts. So that is another way by which people go and do. One of the very interesting things I remember about historic tales is कि हिमाचल में कोई एक ज्वाला देवी है, वहां पे वो कहते हैं ज्वाला जलती रहती है, and they are supposed to be gas available there. But due to whatever reasons, they were not able to either find gas or they found and did not declare because of religious sentiments. So there are things like that also. And then, of course, there are technological changes. The mobile airways was not something till 1990s, and now without mobile, we can't live. Now, when we do exploration, these are very expensive. These are very time consuming. These are dig holes, analyze, and plug the same holes. So exploration companies are specialist companies. And normally exploration and mining are given to same, or the government may do exploration because it is high cost and then give the mining rights to third party. So exploration was the old way. Even today, a lot of exploration is being done. After the exploration is done and you dig holes and you take out the soil and do the analysis, then you are able to see what is the type of mineral, what is the concentration level, and what is approximately the amount of mineral which is in that area. So that is the way exploration is being done or was being done. Now, these are the type of machines which are digging holes. So what you see is, I am sure in metro towns you have seen similar machines. These are also called piling machines, where you make large columns, especially for metro. But these type of machines, they keep on fixing pipes, and they can go up to 5,000 meters below the ground to find out. And they take out the mud and they keep on analyzing what is in the mud. Has anybody seen these machines?
Yes, so many, sir. So many times.
No, the piling machines, yes. Piling
Yes.
machines, yes. But for exploration, because there is a slight difference. They're 90% same, but there's a slight difference. And in the piling machine, they don't keep the mud, but in these machines, there's a provision that the whole mud can be kept separate. But yes, the fundamental is same. There is a drill in the end, and there is a high pressure water which is pumped, and the mud which comes out is taken out in a container. The water is then taken out and the mud stays. Now this is satellite image. So this is of Australia. I was not able to find any satellite image of India, so that is what it is. So if you look into the satellite image, the different colors and different things, not only temperature, they also talk about what is the type of elements which can be there with this satellite imaging. Recently, there were two images was released by our sun images abhi release hua tha. One green color, one red color. Now, these are called hyperspectral imaging. The surface of the earth gives different color and images. And this is a way of elimination where there is no mineral. They are quite fast and now becoming better with imaging technologies. Now, with satellite, they are also able to transmit different frequencies of radar, which go and strikes the earth. Some even penetrate the earth to some meters, and then they are able to take an image to see what is going on. So this helps in many things. Another advantage or another fallout of this image has been many structures have been found which were supposed to be 5,000, 8,000 years ago in different parts of the world. And of course, as especially the US are very much crazy about UFOs and aliens, there is a big set of societies there which are only following that there are aliens which have come to India and what. Then there are chance findings, like gold in California. I'm sure a lot of people heard that the California gold rush started because some people found gold in the rivers. So that was the gold in California. Then Golokunda mines, Kohinoor diamond was a chance find there. Panna diamond mines. You find small diamonds on the surface of the earth. Anybody knows where there is Panna? This actual stone is from Panna area. Anybody knows where is Panna diamond mine, sir?
Sierra Leone?
Sorry?
Sierra Leone?
No,
That
it
is
is in India.
Okay. But in Sierra Leone, it is called like if somebody throws stone at you, it may be a diamond.
No, these are diamond mines. They're still running. This Panna diamond mine is still running. Huh? This is under NMDC, National Mineral Development Corporation. It is in Madhya Pradesh and it is approximately 70 to 80 kilometers from Khajuraho temples. And the Panna diamond mines also is a natural reserve for many tigers there. One of my uncle was the mining manager. So I had an opportunity to visit the mine in 1978. So I saw the way the mining of diamond and so on. And we saw that, that the various diamonds were available. You can see it on the surface. Because the diamonds are formed by high pressure, normally as a conduit of what you call a volcano, where there are very high temperatures and pressures, and the carbon, they get converted into a different geometric structure. And that's when the black carbon becomes a glittering diamond. But the Panna diamond mine is still an operating mine, very small mine, and they get very small diamonds out from there. And if anybody wants to go, if he goes to Khajuraho, I would definitely recommend a trip down to diamond mines. they have a program to show the mine and other things to visitors. And then all the natural
Oil-
resources.
Oil
Sorry,
field,
please.
Dick Boy also is a chance finding, sir. Dick Boy. Oil field, Dick Boy in Assam. Because
Assam oil,
then,
yes, correct.
Yeah, people were British people were riding on elephant, and from the elephant food, the oil started oozing out. And then he said Dick Boy, and the name also came as Dick Boy.
Ah, that's how the Big Boy refinery came in.
And
Okay.
Dick Boy is the one of the
Big Boy,
main oil fields of oil India Limited.
Yeah, it's a refinery also, Big Boy refinery.
Yeah, later on they started a refinery over there.
Interesting, sir. So all natural resources, as we know, are the public properties, and it's the responsibility of the government to put the best use. I'm sure all of us know that even if we have 1,000 acres of land, and if any mineral is found below the land, it belongs to the government or the public. It is not our property unless the mining rights are given to us. So we'll come to that a little later. Any questions, sir? Any questions, comments? Any suggestions? I hope you are enjoying. Okay, let's further go. So we have to have a primary find, first a chance find or a primary find, and then there is a detailed exploration, which is normally done by government, private or joint. After a detailed exploration is done, then a detailed report of the find is prepared, and then those mines are put into auction and they are given mining rights. So that's the way it is. Even sand mines, the auction may be for 50 years, 100 years, or maybe for 1 year, depending on the type of thing. Like Tata Steel's, the mines from which they are taking out, it is of near about perpetual, but not perpetual. Another one very interesting case is SR Steel, though now sold to Angkor Mittal. Their mines are in Orissa, and from Orissa they take out the ore, wash it, concentrate it, bring it to Haldia near Surat, and then do the blast furnace there. So, there are various ways by which it is done. So what is a mining right? Now we come to the first valuation. What is a mining right? In mining right, you have a land area or an air area in case of airwaves. You have a land area. The land is not transferred. It is not used, and it is not put for any use except mining. So it is something which is that land is not yours. You have nothing to do with the land, but you can make use of what is inside that land. So that's a very interesting concept when we do the valuation. We cannot value the land there because it neither belongs to the company, nor it is transferred, nor leased, or anything. A very interesting case on this came out. We were doing valuation of a company called Bharat Pumps and Compressor Limited in Allahabad or Prayagraj. So company was closed. They were in about 40 acres. And when I was doing the valuation of plant and machinery, and we asked them, what about land and building? He said, actually, the land is the property of UP government. They did not transfer it to us. It was an understanding, quote unquote, understanding to run the factory. So now that the factory is closed, they have already put a stake that they want to take the whole thing. And the building, they say you cannot break the building also. So it is only the plant and machinery which they are allowed to take it. A very interesting case of, the land being used but not transferred, leased, or anything. The second thing is all mining rights are limited time period. There are no perpetual mining rights. Yes, there is an understanding, like for example, in case of a cement company, there are mining rights given, which can go up to 50 years. And plus there is an agreement to increase to another 20, 25 years or whatever. But there is nothing like a perpetual mining right that once it has been given and it will continue forever. Nowhere in the world I have read, heard of a perpetual mining right. Then there is a fee on the rights. The right that you have given, there is a fee. One fee is per kg of mineral which has been sold or exploited. So that is one type of fee. Then there is a usage fee per year, that because we have given you the mine, the government takes a usage fee, and it is only for the minerals specified. Now, only for the mineral specified, I remember one very interesting case. I was in Tanzania, and in Tanzania, there is a mine called the Golden Pride. Now, it is a gold mine, big size mine run by Barracks. Now, from there, the Japanese company called Kobe Steel, after the gold was taken out, there used to be a sludge. So they used to buy the sludge and take it to Japan. Now, this whole trade of sludge being taken out and taken to Japan was managed by Sumitomo Japan. And I had friends in Sumitomo Japan. He came to Tanzania for something. We were having a beer and all. And he told me that he's come here for this trade. I said, what the hell are you going to do with muck? Kobe Steel is a 300-year-old company. What are they doing? They said, no, don't speak so loudly. There is a lot of rare earth in that muck, molybdenum, cadmium, and so on. So we are able to take it 2,000 kilometers of jungle road, and then from Tanzania all the way by ship to Kobe in Japan, and then they do the processing. And they said it's a very profitable business because they get it dirt cheap, and the Golden Barracks doesn't have to pay the royalty. The royalty is paid only on the what you call gold. So, very interesting case where internationally the Japanese were able to exploit this small loophole which was there. So it was only for the mineral specified. Another thing along with this is called the pollution management. Sir, any other case anybody knows about this in India? There's a very interesting case in India where of the things of quite similar in nature. It is by Vedanta Group, Anil Agarwal. See, Vedanta Group is running Hindustan Zinc Limited. In Hindustan Zinc, they exploit the zinc from a place called near, the biggest mines are near Chittorgarh in Rajasthan. ये चित्तौड़गढ़ वही जगह है जहां पे रानी पद्मिनी ने आग में जल के सती बन गई थी. एंड दैट किला जो है वो 26 किलोमीटर तक चलता है पहाड़ों के ऊपर. A fantastic place. So there what they did, along with the zinc, they are able to get lead. Lead के बाद भी जो मक बचता है, they have opened a factory in Uttarakhand, in Rudrapur, where they take that muck to there and they take out silver from there. So from zinc to lead to now silver. So it's a very interesting thing that the mining rights were given to some for something else, and a lot of other things are coming. सब मजा आ रहा है ना, ये अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन आ रही है.
Yes, sir, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah. So you know, a lot of information here and there, and also I try to do that, and I'll keep doing. Okay, another one is pollution management. Now, the pollution is not only of air pollution. The biggest pollution is when you take out the dust. See, when you take out the ore, O-R-E, ore, in ore, it might be 10 grams, 20 grams, 30 gram of mineral, and the rest is mud. So what they do, they wash the mud. The normal mud is easy, it is environment friendly. But after that, when you take out the ore, what is left is something which is extremely toxic. Now, you can't dispose this off to anywhere. So all the mines have got dedicated areas where it is disposed or it is stored, to the extent that pollution control board of the local area, they go and check whether they have added as much of muck there as compared to the output they have taken out or they have given out somewhere else. Again, talking about Hindustan Zinc, they have got 3 areas of 12 acre each where they have kept the muck, and they are trying to build some bricks out of it and other things where of that. Okay, the one question we should ask me is, how do I know so much about Hindustan Zinc? I was working with Larsen and Toubro in the consulting division in Baroda, and we used to do a lot of consulting for Hindustan Zinc in Dariba and in Chittorgarh. So we saw all of these things. Another interesting thing about Hindustan Zinc is there are so much shortage of water that they had said that Chittorgarh city, the total sewer water they were taking from Chittor city and paying to Chittor city so that they can run the mines, there was shortage of water. And what the figures they said was that total 1 lakh liter of water is getting evaporated per day, which is a major issue. So, just again, small things, how it adds up. So pollution management and scrap disposals. Another thing about the mining right is about safety. Anybody remembers a movie where Amitabh Bachchan was a miner in a coal mine?
Kala Patthar.
Kala Patthar, absolutely correct. So the safety, and recently we saw this Uttarakhand safety. So safety is a very big issue. And last is environment restoration. We'll talk a little more about these things as we go. Then the last thing is environment restoration. Government is today very, very strict that the mines, after you mine it, has to be restored in a manner so that there is no further environment damage. So suppose you have made a hole inside the earth and you are not able to plug it or do it properly, earth on the top can sink. A sinkhole can be made. A lot of such sinkholes are seen in Indonesia and in US, where they did not manage this environment restoration properly. Any questions, sir, on so far? Nothing. Okay. Then these are auctioned. After this, we will take a 10-minute coffee break. So then these are auctioned. Now, auction, the process of auction, these are all digital. Has anybody participated in digital auctions by the government or third parties? No. Today, even railways or military, their scrap is also being auctioned. And these are all digital auctions. So the way they are auctioned is, suppose I want to buy, they first announce it in the newspaper. So if I want to buy, I have to fill in the regular documents, which goes through, and everything is digital. It goes to their scrutiny. After they said yes, then I have to deposit a certain amount of money. After the money has been deposited, then they put up all of this is pre-qualification and so on. And then what happens? The auction starts. Now, in the auction, as we have seen in the, any idea which was a very famous auction in a Devanand Nutan film? Where a land was auctioned in Delhi. अरे सर कुछ तो हमारी तरह 60 प्लस के एज के होंगे ना? देवानंद की पिक्चर है, तेरे घर के सामने।
हाँ,
नहीं
मूवी वी
याद है,
हर्ड बट वी डोंट
मूवी
नो द
हर्ट किया
स्टोरी।
है।
हाँ,
नो,
उसके
द
गाने भी
स्टोरी
सुने।
इज की, गाने भी सुने। द स्टोरी इज देवानंद के फादर और नूतन के फादर both were rich businessmen of Delhi and they were on a land auction. तो फ्रंट लैंड देवानंद के फादर ने खरीद लिया। तो जो नूतन के फादर है उनकी मूंछ नीची हो गई, तो उन्होंने क्या किया, पीछे वाली जमीन आगे वाली जमीन से महंगे पे खरीद ली कि दैट इज मोर एक्सपेंसिव, जस्ट टू शो दैट इट इज मोर एक्सपेंसिव। So these are some of the famous movie auctions. Okay, anyway, but those auctions were when you used to stand up and do it. These are digital auctions. So in the digital auctions, what happens? Suppose there are 5 parties, all 5 get a ID. Nobody knows who's the next party, and you have to keep on putting a figure. Now, to put one figure, the figure has to stand without another alternate bid for a length of time. Now, what it means is, me as SK Agarwal has put in a figure of, let us say, 100 rupees. And then Mr. Shastri, he wants to give in 101. So he can put it 101 within, let's say, half an hour. Now, if he doesn't put in half an hour, then only I will be declared as a winner. But on the 29th minute, if he puts 101, then the clock starts again. Again, for next 30 minutes, there has to be a gap before the next figure can be put in. Now, in case of airwaves, the rights for mobile, this gap between the one bid and no other bid goes up to 12 hours, because any bid, it starts in thousands of crores. So it takes a long time for a person or the group of people to negotiate, to make calculations and so on. So these mining auctions also, between one bid and another bid, there might be 4 hours to 12 hours gap where it is given. That is why we hear the auction has started and we get the result after 3 days or 4 days. Because again, these are very large ticket items. And with large ticket items, nobody stands there like Nutan's father to say, I will buy this property at 1 lakh, no, 10,000 rupee more on whatever it is. So I highly recommend to see the movie. It's a very interesting romantic comedy with fantastic songs. So then there are time limits are imposed to start the work. Now, the good thing about this auctions from the time it has started is that now the tenders have also started moving on this auction basis. And the reason why these auctions have come is number one, there used to be a very interesting, what you call, gangism in the auction. Now, let us say there's a particular land which is being auctioned. So there will be groups of people who will create a group, and they will make sure that the land doesn't get auctioned to the natural value, and they will suppress the prices. And after the price is suppressed, then they will re-auction and then distribute it among the difference they distribute among themselves. So, but in digital auctions, we don't know who the other party is. All the parties are pre-qualified with their initial documents and whatever. All the parties are financially strong and can participate in the auction and pay, unlike that, anybody comes and says, okay, I want to participate. So that is not there. And the third is, there is time cap given before the last bid is done. So if I'm quoting 1,000 crore and somebody else wants to quote 1,200 crores, now you can't quote 200 crore just at a drop of a hat. So then it keeps on adding because these are large scale auctions. And on top of it, everything on that is very closely monitored and with a lot of firewalls. You can't take a snap, you can't do anything. So these are, when you see those, you are really amazed at the technology at which India has come for these things. And then normally, as soon as the auction is over, within a short time, you have to deposit a good chunk of money so that you can start the mobilizing rights and so on. I would also recommend that all the valuers should do a little more reading on this or see some YouTube video. And there are some videos where they also show the recording of the live auctions, because these are very, very interesting things which are happening. Any questions on the auction, sir? Nothing. Okay. So it's 12 noon. Let's take a 10-minute coffee, cigarette, toilet break. And then we meet at 12:10 exact. I hope everybody is enjoying the show.
Yes. Very interesting, sir.
Okay, so we meet at 12:10.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, please.
After break, there is one concept, reverse auction also. So after break, you can elaborate on that also.
I'll elaborate on the reverse auctions. Yeah, I'll elaborate. Okay. Yeah, shall we start? Everybody there?
Yes,
Yes, sir, we are here.
Yes, sir.
We are here, sir. Please start.
Okay, the question was, what is reverse auction? What do you think is a reverse auction? Any
Reverse
idea,
auction
sir?
is for the purchase of items.
So reverse
Reverse
auction, the
auction is
price is given.
for purchase of items.
Yeah, in reverse auction, prices are already fixed by the purchaser, and in every bid you have to match the price from the competition. They give there is some lower prices there. You have some time to match those prices. If you fail to match, the order will go to the lowest bidder.
Okay, the difference is what you say is absolutely correct. The difference is who pays the money. Now, in case when we are buying something from a large company or government, then we pay the money and take the goods or services. In a reverse auction, the government or the large company, they pay the money and we have to give the goods or the services. One of the big things about this is taxi services by government of India or the large companies, or airline tickets or trucking rates. Now, these are something which services are provided by third party to large companies, and they then put it in an auction, and the per kilometer rate of whatever various ways is, the service providers, they bid to the lowest rate. That is called the reverse auction. So both the auctions are pretty open. If you can see, we also have reverse auction in our valuation work, where the IP, they take what you call quotations from several people, and then the one they want to hire, they call him and say the lowest price is this, either you reduce or otherwise I will give it to the next person. So that's also in that case. Okay, now coming to mines. Now these mines are typically, we are talking about land mines or mines where things are taken out from the land. There is one is Mine and Mineral Regulation and Development Act 1957, which is how the mining sector will operate and it will be governed. The Mine Act. Then the Mines Act of 1952. It is more or less like a factory act, which covers all the worker issues, safety, hygiene, and so on. In the Mining Act 1952, there are regular inspections. And the biggest difference between 1948 Factory Act and Mining Act is, in Factory Act, there are the section given to safety is not as high as the Mines Act in 1950. So the huge accidents have taken place in mines. The last accident, which I'm just remembering, was in somewhere in Argentina, where something like 6,000 people of a village got, died out because there was a landslide of the muck of the mine. Then the head of the mines to have first-class mining certificates. Now, these are independent certificates given by international bodies, and there are other provisions. Any idea, sir, which is the largest mining institute in the country, and it is very, very famous internationally?
Dhanbad School of Mines.
Correct. Now it is called IIT. But yes,
Okay.
it is Dhanbad
Okay.
School of Mines. It is very old. I think it is pre-independence.
Yes, one of the only
And-
one at that time.
Yeah, till recently. And
We at Raipur also have College of Mine here at Raipur, NIT Raipur. Now,
is it there?
yes, we have.
Oh, very good.
Government Engineering College Raipur started with the School of Mines. Then we incorporated all the other branches. Now it has been upgraded to NIT Raipur. 1957.
So Dhanbad is the oldest and the most reputed.
Yes,
And then IIT Kharagpur also has got a mining, but overall there are not many mining engineering colleges or mining institutes. And as per the mines and mineral regulation, the mines manager has to be a mining graduate. So for anything else, you can have a normal person, but for mines, you cannot. Now, what are the different type of mines? Now, the mines that you see here is called the open cast mine. So this is called an open cast mine. So what is done is the digging starts from the top and it keeps on going down. And if you see the steps which are formed, these steps perform two functions. The first is they take it out, and the second is for the truck to take the material all the way to the top. So open cast mines are comparatively easier to run, but they are also expensive because the amount of material which is to be taken out is very large. Another problem with open cast mine is because so much of material is taken out that there is a pressure from all the side by the earth to cave in. Then these mines, when they are abundant, you get water filled in there. And that water with mining concentration going to the underground also creates water pollution, the groundwater pollutions. These are the tube mines, the Amitabh Bachchan Kala Patthar mines. Now, these are tube mines because like coal and steel and many things, they are found like a tube inside. So instead of taking out all the material like in the open cast, they take out material in a tube like this. So these tubes, and you see the rail below, this rail is to push and bring the material to a common lift. And from there, they pour it in the lift, and from there, it is taken up. Now, these are the type of mine where there have been a lot of accident because of cave-ins. ऊपर से मट्टी गिर गया, पानी से भर गया. So all sort of these things have happened in these sort of mines. Now, of course, the mining happens in this type also, but there are far more safety provisions where mines are cement का एक वो layer बनाते हैं, so it doesn't fall easily and so on. These are diamond hole mines in South Africa. Any idea, sir, which is the largest diamond company in the world? The two largest diamond companies in the world.
De Beers.
De Beers, and second? Second is Citizen. Both these two companies are South African companies. और वर्ल्ड का डायमंड का मंडी कहाँ पर है, ट्रेडिंग हब कहाँ पर है? Any
Belgium.
idea?
Belgium.
No.
Antwerp.
Antwerp. Where is Antwerp?
Near Africa.
Near Africa. नहीं sir.
एंटवर्प तो बेल्जियम में ही आता था सर.
Belgium.
एंटवर्प नहीं, एंटवर्प उसमें है, एम्स्टर्डम के पास में है, हॉलैंड.
Holland.
और वहां पे ये कहते हैं कि 12 फैमिलीज है जो पूरा डायमंड वर्ल्ड का एम्पायर उसको करता है, जिसमें 4 या 5 अपना गुच्चू भाई भी है. और ज्यादातर धंधा वो जैसे पुराने जमाने में उंगली पे होता था ना, हाथ से छू के उंगली पे धंधा होता था, वो उसी से ही होता है बस. द इंडियन गवर्नमेंट, they tried very hard to break the monopoly of these two companies. They even create Tanzania में बहुत डायमंड होता है, so they even took a joint venture with Tanzania to develop the mines, but they failed. And the bulk of the small diamonds, they come to Surat for grinding and polishing. Any sir, any story, किसी को idea है? Any relation between the Parsi and the diamonds? चलो मैं बताता हूँ. पारसी मीन्स द टाटास, गोदरेज, ये सारा पारसी लो भाई है, बाबा भाई. About 560 Parsis, they left Iran and they came to गुजरात. वो गुजरात में भावनगर पे आए थे, और वो भावनगर पे उन्होंने डायमंड पॉलिशिंग के काम से धंधा शुरू किया था. और फिर वहां से वो गुजराती ने सीख के सूरत पे खोला था. So the original diamond polishers of India are Parsi bhais, and Bhavnagar was the original. And even today, the largest center is Surat, but Bhavnagar is also become a very big center. And very interesting, मतलब ये सिर्फ एक सोचने का होता है कि मैं सोचता हूँ तो पर्सनली मुझे जवाब नहीं मिलता कि बिहारी आदमी सूरत पे जाके डायमंड ग्राइंड करता है, बट वो बिहार पे आके ग्राइंड नहीं कर सकता. बिहार पे लोगों ने कोशिश किया, एवरीबडी फेल्ड टू सेट अप अ डायमंड ग्राइंडिंग एंड पॉलिशिंग सेंटर, बट सूरत में चलता है. सो समथिंग इन द ब्लड. आई वाज वर्किंग इन बड़ौदा, एंड एक बार वो सुनने में आया था कि व्हेन मोदी भाई वाज द चीफ मिनिस्टर देयर, कि वो सूरत से भावनगर का एक शिप बनाए गए, जो पहले भावनगर से कितना 100 किलोमीटर बाहर जाएगा इंडियन बाउंड्री के, फिर वहां दारू चालू हो जाएगा और 3 पत्ती चालू होगा, और भावनगर पे जाएगा, अगले दिन दोपहर को पहुंचेगा, तो जिससे पूरा गुज्जू लोग जो दमन में जाके टूरिज्म करते थे वो शिप पे हो जाए. बट वो चला नहीं. Interesting facts, huh? So remove the earth, starting from tap, heavy equipment is used. That is what the mining is. अच्छा, just I'll take it back also. ये जो माइन है, इस तरह का कई माइन है. वर्ल्ड का जो सबसे बड़ा डायमंड है, इट इज कॉल्ड कैलेगन डायमंड, which was supposed to be 3000 कैरेट in a weight. तो 3000 कैरेट मीन्स है को पुराने जमाने में जो एक उसका कांच का वो आता था ना, पेपर वेट, उतना बड़ा करीब होता है. उसका फिर 4 टुकड़ा किया और बाकी सब चीजें. Now these are the type of heavy equipment which are used in these construction. These are dump trucks till 250 ton capacity. 250 ton एक dump truck. इसका टायर इंडिया में बनाने का एक कंपनी है. एनी आइडिया सर? मारवाड़ी भाई का कंपनी है. इसका एक टायर इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 25 lakhs goes up to 40 lakh rupees.
C8 बनाता है?
एनी कौन सा C8? नहीं जी सर, ये जो कंपनी है ऑफ रोड टायर, इसका सबसे छोटा टायर ट्रैक्टर का रियर टायर। इस कंपनी का नाम है बालकिशन इंडस्ट्री।
Okay, okay.
बालकिशन इंडस्ट्री, इट इज रन बाय मारवाड़ी उतार फैमिली है, एंड सुपर प्रोफेशनल। एंड इसका शेयर मतलब इट इज कंसिडर्ड वन ऑफ द शेयर जिसको रख के भूल जाओ तब भी कोई वो नहीं है। मतलब आई एम नॉट रिकमेंडिंग एनीथिंग, आई एम नॉट I do indulge in share trading, but I am not in recommendation of shares, so please don't take it in that. So ये जो बड़ा इक्विपमेंट है, these are made by Caterpillar, Liebherr, Hitachi, 3-4 कंपनी है जो ये बनाते हैं, and these are 250 ton capacities. इन मशीन्स का यहाँ तक होता है कि जब ये चालू रहता है, then they try not to stop it. So when the driver has to change, so they just slow it, the driver runs and climbs, and then he takes over, the next driver comes out. These trucks are in 5 crores, 8 crores, delivery time 36 months, ये उस टाइप से होता है।
तो बेमल भी बनाती है ना?
सॉरी,
बेमल makes this dumper?
हाँ, BEML
BEML.
make dumpers, हाँ, BEML makes dumpers, वो छोटा बनाती है up to 80 tons। मतलब you see 80 ton कहते हुए भी हंसी आ रहा है, because the normal dump trucks are 12 tons, but in mining they talk about 250 tons because so much of earth has to be removed. Then if you see this excavator, इसका जो आगे का scoop है, it is 60 tons per scoop. So you know how much big the machine would be. 2000 horsepower engine, अपना मारुति Fronte 800 का engine was only 48 horsepower, and this must be 2000 horsepower. So you can imagine how big these machines are, and 60 ton per scoop. So एक scoop market, everything is just removing the mud, because the mineral is in the mud. More the mud you remove, and bigger the things you do, it becomes cheaper. And so that is what it is like. Then you have machines like this. In this, it is a continuous casting where they keep on removing materials on a continuous basis, and it keeps on getting filled. So these are also very large size machines, and they talk about 1000 tons per hour and so on. Huge machines, huge investments. And that's where the mining valuation becomes more and more complex. How many people have seen a mining operation like this using these type of machines, heavy machines, real heavy, like Singrauli coalfields, Donamalai iron ore projects, Sisa Goa iron ore.
Southeastern coalfields.
Sorry?
Southeastern coalfields, open cast mines.
Southeastern coalfield is also very big. Yes. Okay, then when you take it on, when you take out the mud, that mud contains very low percentage of metal, rest is all muck. So after you bring it, you can't process the whole muck. So what you do a washing. Washing is nothing but you put water and the mud keeps on, the fine mud keeps on going out. So these are washers. Very interestingly, the Adanis have put washers in Mundra so that the coal coming from what you call Indonesia and Australia can be washed there, and the pollution in the port is less. So they have also put on washers there. So these are washers. So this is again the reason I'm showing is that the complexity of the mines, that how much capital is deployed to run a mine. Then goes to a pit head plant. Now, when you operate a mine, the mine, you take out a ore. Ore is useless unless ore is converted into something end product which can be sold to the consumer in direct or indirect forms. Like steel, you take out the mud, make the steel, and from the steel, there will be somebody who will make the bars for construction, who will make stainless steel for pots and pans, and so on. Now, there are several type of things. One is called a pit head plant. Pit head plant means there is a pit like the open cast mine, and the plant is just close by. When we say close by, it means anything less than 50 kilometers. So cement plants are like that, where the mines are taken out and then they are put on the pit heads. Steam turbine power generation, Singrauli power plant, 2000 megawatt NTPC. They all are close to the Singrauli coal mines, and then it is taken out, what you call the coal is taken out, then it is broken, then it is put on a ball mill and it is made like a powder. Powder means really a powder, and then it is used in the boiler, steam, and then from there you make out the what you call electricity. Interestingly, I was working in BHEL and some turbines of Singrauli where I was the production engineer, and BHEL has not got an order for any new power plant for last 6 years. All the orders which are now flowing is into the what you call solar and hydrogen sector. So you have steam turbine power generator, which are pit heads. Then iron blast furnaces, like Tata Steel is a very clear example. JSW is an example where the iron mines and the blast furnace, which converts it into iron, are in a close enough distance. Close enough means less than 50-80 kilometers. You don't have to take it. Then zinc is smelting, the Hindustan zinc. They are the only one. That is also about 80 kilometers. The smallest, the mine closest is 20 and the furthest is about 100 kilometers. Aluminium. Aluminium, the way aluminium is taken out is by electrical process. So you need a large amount of electricity to take aluminium out. And so the aluminium plants are typically close to a water dam or a powerhouse so that the transmission loss of electricity are very low. The largest aluminium plant in India, sir, kiska hai?
Nalco?
Hindalco. And where is it?
No,
Yes,
National Aluminium.
Singrauli.
National Aluminium is number 2. Yes, it is in Singrauli. The exact location is called Renukut.
Renukut, UP, right.
UP, correct. And it is close to a dam. और वो डैम से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लेके करते हैं. The owner of Hindalco is the Birla Group, Aditya Birla Group, and it is one of the profitable company for a very long time. Nalco is more, they get ore and then they do it. Another pithead plants of mines is marble and granite. Correct, sir? The marble and granite are taken out from the mountains, and then they take up to a plant where then they are cut into different sizes, and from there it is mostly sold out, or from there it is sent to the final processing. But most of the plants are near the pit head. Then there are remote locations like coal mines. All the coal is mined, 100% is not used at the pit head. A lot of it goes to different parts of the country. Calcium carbonate, Udaipur to Morbi. Any guess, sir, what is this product? Why to Morbi?
The tiles.
Exactly. Morbi as a city has the largest tile manufacturing in the world, but they don't have calcium carbonate. So the calcium carbonate is mined in Udaipur. It is put into 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter canvas bags, and then it is taken to Morbi, from where all tiles and other sanitary ware and all of this is created and sold all over India. Very interesting. A lot of big brands, they used to have plants in their various places, but a lot of such brands have also started outsourcing to Morbi. Anybody from Gujarat in this team who has gone to Morbi, or anybody who has gone to Morbi? एक पिक्चर आया था जिसमें से शबाना आजमी मोरबी का वो था, क्या कहते हैं, गुंडा लेडी था या क्या था? शबाना आजमी था, कौन था? हाँ, anyway, so Morbi is a very large industrial town, not a very large but a very big industrial town, and the main business is on sanitary ware and tiles. Another thing is salt. Now, salt is mainly mined in Bhuj area. Or salt is very sensitive to Indians because महात्मा गांधी ने पहला जो असली झगड़ा मोल लिया था ब्रिटेन से, वो भी सॉल्ट के ऊपर ही लिया था, दांडी सॉल्ट माइंस के ऊपर में वो करके. So salt is being sent from Bhuj to various places in the country. I know of one where from Bhuj it is going to a place called Rajpura in Punjab. In Rajpura, Bodal Chemicals have a plant. They use this salt or NaCl, sodium chloride, to make chloride gas, hydrochloric acid, caustic soda, all of it which is required to sell in the Punjab market. So the salt is the mineral, and then that mineral is taken to from Bhuj to Rajpura, which should be about 1900 kilometers, and then they sell it to the local market after manufacturing. Another place is sand. We know the sand mafia cases. Every year there are 1 or 2 cases of sand mafia and so on. And sand is never used in the area where it is mined. It is always taken and used into constructions. Any questions, sir? मतलब एक चीज को अलग तरह से दिखने का चांस दिख रहा है, correct? To see something in a different way, which in our normal thing we are not able to see. Now these are the various minerals in India. This, of course, this PPT which Jyoti will share with everybody. So I have taken this again from internet only, the Survey Journal. So what are the various minerals in which part of India? And if you see, except for the Indo-Gangetic Plain, which is from Amritsar all the way to Buxar in Bihar, most of the places in India have got some other mineral or not. Now, one of the biggest minerals, I'm sorry, mineral is a wrong word. One of the biggest mining in Leh, which is totally barren, is supposed to be solar energy. And there were reports before the 370 was abrogated that there are companies which want to set up plant there of 40,000 megawatts. 40,000 megawatt of solar there. Another thing I was reading recently, अभी अदानी का शेयर वापस चढ़ना शुरू हो गया है, where Adani Green Energy, which is producing solar energy, they are planning to put up a 20,000 megawatt or 30,000 megawatt in Run of Kutch. And Run of Kutch, there is nothing. एक कीड़ा भी नहीं है वहां पे, वो इतना गर्म हो जाता है और इतना एसिडिक है. So you can see the Run of Kutch, which has nothing, still has got land so that solar energy can be produced. So how interesting things happen. Now, sir, so far we have talked about mines and various things. So any questions or any discussions we want to have before we now start getting into the money trail in the mining? Because the valuation will only happen once we take the money trail.
There is one question, like
Yes,
after
please.
extracting whatever minerals or whatever from the land, is it the responsibility normally of the miner to put back material and cover the land again? Normally?
Yes, yes. Not normally. Precondition of getting a mine. They have to sign it as per that. And there is a deposit which this is called the licensees. The licensees, when they get a right to mine, they have to deposit the money as a bank guarantee or a security, that if they don't do it, then this penalty can be imposed on them.
Okay, thank you.
They also have to create what you call local bodies for social upliftment. And because mining deploys a lot of people, a lot of politicians, they start coming into picture. And good mining companies, they always put schools and hospitals and so on around these mines. And these schools and everything is not only for their employee, but also for anybody who stays in the villages. So this amount of social work is being done. We also know that in India, we have a CSR rule that the 2% of the profit of a large company has to be invested in or has to be put in the CSR for the development of the society. So a lot of CSR money also goes into this activity. But okay, this said and done, this also uplifts the poor of our country. Okay, any other questions? Nothing else. Shall don't let us take the money trail. Sorry, yes, please.
Last time when we were discussing, you said about the hydrogen used as fuel, is it not? We had.
Yes.
Now, how is, can it be also considered as one of the, it is also a mineral, right? It is a gas, in fact. But
hydrogen.
Yes, hydrogen is
hydrogen
gas.
hydrogen is not considered mineral. Hydrogen is considered an energy storage product. Okay. The reason it is not considered a mineral because hydrogen does not occur in a natural way where a economic exploitation can be done. So the problem with electricity is electricity cannot be stored. You can generate the electricity and you have to consume it. So the solar energy, when it started becoming in a big 1 meter square of a solar panel used to give 220 watts of electricity. 220 watt is approximately 1 TV. But now they are gone up to 600 watts of electricity, 1 square meter, which is approximately 10 fans, normal fans can be operated.
So per day?
Now
Per
at
day
any
or per
point
hour?
of time, any point of time.
Okay, okay.
See, 600 watts of energy is being generated.
Yes. Right.
So in about 1 hour, 35 minutes, 1 unit of electricity has been generated.
Correct. Understood.
Okay. Now this is 1 square meter. So in the house, when people put in at the rooftop, they put in approximately 8 to 10 square meter. So normally a rooftop, a 250 square yard house, if they put the solar panels on the rooftop, they actually earn money because not only they use it for themselves, they are able to sell it in the grid. Just a fun fact, the largest rooftop solar energy is being produced in Germany. And even now, the total power usage in Germany, more than 70% is coming from solar energy. Total power usage, which means also for trains and what you call industry and so on. And they have the largest number of solar panels on the roofs. Okay, coming back to hydrogen. Now, the problem in solar energy is it cannot be stored, number one. Because it cannot be stored, hence, you can only use when it is being generated. But then engineers, we all are engineers, and we keep thinking in a different direction. So one of the things which came out was, let us pump the water from a lower level to a higher level in a dam. So when we pump the water, we will use the energy. And in the night, we will let the water flow down. And when the water flow down, we can get the electricity. And yes, this is an accepted solution. And in India, it is also being done in Andhra. I don't remember the place, but it is being done. The second thing which was also tried internationally was they took the solar energy, they concentrated it in a particular spot, and then they melted calcium and some other metals. So by melting, it retained a lot of heat. And in the night, they let it solidify. So the heat was getting generated from which they were able to generate electricity. Now, this heating process is also a very low efficiency product, but it is better than wasting energy. Then somewhere around 10 years ago, hydrogen started coming as an alternate storage of energy. So what they do, they take water, and in the water, they pass the current. When they pass the current, they get two gases. One is oxygen, other is hydrogen. And once hydrogen is there, then it can behave like a CNG. Put it in a cylinder, put it in a pipe, and so on. So now when it started in Europe, France, and Germany. Now, Germany is already running 3 trains on hydrogen as a fuel. The advantage of hydrogen as a fuel is you can use it in a normal engine with an engine in the automobile, or you can use hydrogen and convert it into electricity directly. There is no need to be having a burning engine. And if you convert it to electricity, then a normal electric car can work. So the first hydrogen car in the country is with our Nagpur Baba called Gadkari ji. And Gadkari sir. Haji, Gadkari ji. Nagpur Baba, we call him Nagpur Baba from here. The 3 largest player in hydrogen space, अपना मुकेश भाई, Reliance, अपना गौतम भाई Adani, and L&T. So they have announced not small but very large investment. Reliance has announced that they will become the largest producer of green hydrogen in the world. So green hydrogen means solar energy, say electricity, and then from that electricity, they will make hydrogen. Now, to go even further, there is a small toy train between Kalka and Shimla. As per the old announcement by the government, the engine will be changed to a hydrogen engine before end of 2024. I don't know whether it will happen by this date, but it will definitely going to happen. That is clear. And I think the name of the Railway Minister is Mr. Vaishnav or what? I'm sorry, I'm mistaking on the name. Somewhere recently, this Republic Economic Forum There also he said we will run this train. So the announcement is 3 trains will run in next 1 year. And after that, they will start putting it for trial in the main routes. And then it will start going into bigger. The largest shipping company called Mastex of Denmark has already ordered 8 large ships to run on hydrogen. Germany is investing big time in Africa, Saharan Africa, to produce electricity and from there to take hydrogen, which can they take to Germany and use it. And I will not be surprised if after 10 years, you will not find these normal cars. Most of the cars will be electric and hydrogen. So the next technology is hydrogen. Hydrogen is not a mineral because it is a manufactured item. Mineral means you have to first dig it from somewhere or take it in the air or something. Solar energy is also manufactured item. In solar energy, what you need is a space and solar panels. So that is why they are not considered as minings or mines. I hope I have answered your question, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've given a very well answer, nice answer.
So,
what valuation of that also would be difficult, is it not?
See, valuation of hydrogen as a fuel. Today, the cost of hydrogen is approximately $2 per kg, which Ambani says they are going to bring it down to less than $1 per kg. And if it brings down to $1 per kg, because 1 kg of hydrogen has more energy than 1 kg of petrol. And so 1 kg of hydrogen means about 82 rupees a kg, which is less than the petrol price daily, which is at 96 rupees today. So let us see. And hydrogen aeroplanes are already under trial. So maybe in next 10, 15 years, we will be living in a different world where we will tell our grandchildren, एक जमाने में पेट्रोल होता था, घर में बत्ती नहीं आता था तो केरोसिन का लैंप जलाते थे.
Thank you.
Anything else? Because hydrogen is something which is the next future. A very interesting thing. As an Indian, I have a very big hope because if the way Adani, Ambani, and L&T and others are talking, if we become a hydrogen export hub, then we become like Arab exporting. They were exporting oil and became rich. What happens to India? Well, we all can imagine. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Or there is only 5-6 minutes. We can just talk a little bit more and then we start the whole money trail in the next 1 or 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Do you know? See, do you know how much percentage of two-wheelers is now electric two-wheelers? Any idea? India is making approximately 10 to 12 lakh two-wheelers per month. 16%, 1/6, is electric two-wheelers. Any idea who is the largest electric two-wheeler manufacturer?
Ola?
Ola, absolutely correct. Ola, he started off with a very crazy figure, 1 crore two-wheelers per year. No factory in the world has ever done like that. So he started off with that figure and he is now producing about 1 lakh of scooter per month. And of course, various things are coming in. Tatas are the largest producer of electric cars with 9,000 cars per month. And they are still not happy because they are not getting lithium batteries to make more cars. And they have also announced that once this is the lithium mining is allowed, the auction takes place, they are going to participate so that they can get lithium for their cars. The only second manufacturer of electric car is Mahindra, which is a very small thing. And the largest car maker in India called Maruti, they have no electrical plants. The last news of comment of Mr. R.C. Bhargav, the chairman of Maruti, was that electric car will be a failure. And the next announcement of their MD, who's a Japanese, was they are going to use biogas in Maruti cars. So I was joking to somebody, the next thing you will see a Maruti car standing in front of a Dudhwala to fill gobar gas in his car. But anyway, so electric car are becoming quite common. In Delhi area, we have this taxi service called Blue Smart, which is now running in very large numbers, and they're cheaper too. Their prices are cheaper. Uber, I have started seeing Uber electric, but Blue electric is far more common in the here. Bombay also I've seen Uber electric. Bangalore also I've seen, sorry, Blue Smart electric cars.
But till these cars are charging on conventional electricity generated by thermal power plants, it is still going to remain polluting only.
No, no.
I mean, the car itself may not pollute, but the power that they are drawing is coming from the grid, which again is using a lot of coal. So,
see,
how does
today
that help?
the total let me correct you slightly. The total power which is coming out of the grid is not 100% coal. Today in India, approximately 35 to 40% power is from renewable sources. Renewable sources being solar, hydropower, and third is nuclear. So it is not as bad as it was earlier.
Sir, this batteries like lithium or something like that, they, while extraction, I was seeing a video, so it also caused lot of hazardous atmosphere, and the workers who are doing this work is not good for their health also. So that is also not a case that we should not encourage this this type of a vehicle fuel, this electricity as a vehicle fuel.
Let me answer the question in multiple ways. The first answer is, when the bypass surgery was started, people started trying, the fatality rate was 90% plus. Today, the fatality rate is less than 1%. So because it was 90%, we should have stopped it. If we had stopped it, we could not have come to where we are today. In medicines, the medicines are tried in rats and monkeys and then people, and then only it comes in the market. There are always risks. So if we avoid the risk of development, then we will also not get development. That is first answer. The second thing is, yes, you are absolutely right that the mining of lithium today is not in as safe and unhazardous manner as it should be. So we should put the pressure on the government and the mining to put the right control and safety measures. Not to say that we will not put computers in the public sector bank, because that will cut down on employment. So, if the mines or the processing plant are unsafe, it is a problem of the processing plant, not of the particular metal. Lastly, when we talk about the pollutions on these, we talk about what is called a lifetime pollution. So a car is produced when it makes iron, plastic, so many things that also contributes to pollution, whatever it is. Then while running for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, it contributes to pollution. And once it finishes, it goes to scrapyard, and then again it contributes to pollution. So pollution as that, as compared to pollution in making the batteries, running the batteries, then once the battery become bad, they have to be reprocessed and redone and scrapping the car. So when we talk of the lifetime pollution of a product, then the electrics are far, far less polluting as compared to the IC engine or internal combustion engines. So, I don't know how many people have heard or seen the refrigerator used to run on a candle. मोमबत्ती से refrigerator चलता था, क्योंकि electricity mines में होता नहीं था. And my father-in-law was a mining manager in MP. So I saw a refrigerator there, Electrolux Sweden का बना हुआ, which was run by a spirit lamp. तो अब वहां पे बर्फ भी जम जाती थी, ऐसा नहीं है, टाइम लेता था. See, all of these things, yes, when you develop technology, there are harm. But the technology which creates more harm will naturally die out. And technology which sustain, they are always, number one, better for the society, number two, cost reduction, and number three, enhancing the human value in some form of it. अगर ये नहीं होगा तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी अपने आप मर जाएगा, कहीं ना कहीं से मर जाएगा. That is my view. चलिए sir, shall we break for lunch?
Yes, sir.
We meet at 2.
Okay, sir.
Same link, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Till 2 o'clock, can we leave the meeting and rejoin it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, sir.
I
Thank you.
am logged in. I am not logging off.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
With the same link you have to
Sorry, ma'am.
Sir, with the same link you have to join.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Okay, got
There
it.
is no separate link. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we log out, ma'am, and rejoin again?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you. Yes, this is what story. Leave permission. Leave meeting.
Valuation or valuation Hello, Mr. Jumping Jaden. Hello, Mr. Jumping Jaden. எல்லாம் முடிச்சா நாளை பூரா இதுதான் அவங்க டைப் அடிச்சிருப்பாங்க.
வேற யாருக்கா அவ மட்டும் தான் டைப்பிஸ்ட், அபிஷியல் டைப்பிஸ்ட். நானானு இருக்குமா தெரியல. நாளைக்கு ஏதாவது வந்தா வேணுனுக்கு அவங்க வந்து சாப்பிட்டாச்சான்னு ஓடி இருந்தான். சாப்பாடு மாஸ்டர் சாப்பிடுங்க மாஸ்டர். 2 மணிக்கு வாங்க. சரி, நான்